welcome back to Yarnatopia. If you are returning and if you are new, thank you so much for checking out today's video. My name is Kim and this is what I call my Yarnatopia. It is my she shed where I come as often as I can and chat about yarn, something that makes me very, very happy and relaxed, and where I share that love and passion with you. So if you're new here or if you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Pull up a seat and let's talk about Finish Friday. Finish Friday is something that I learned about through the Yarn Joy podcast, who is Terri. Every Friday she has this little plastic container and she has a bunch of kits, much like these. And what she does is she draws one randomly and she makes it, and then she shows that on Friday, and then she pulls for the next week's object that she's going to make. So a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to join in and I asked her and she said sure, and so I did. And I have thoroughly enjoyed this process because I'm actually using all these little cute kits, and it's just given me these little quick hit projects that not only make me happy, but they're that instant gratification of a finished object. Because lately I've tended to be knitting and crochet on projects that are not quick fixes and not a quick finish to end. A little mundane, a little tedious, and I get a little bored with them, to be quite honest with you. And this breaks up that monotony, that's the word, and it gives me something a little exciting because I know I can finish it in 2 to 3 days and I have a finished object and I feel like I have completed something off my to-do list. And if you're anything like me, those little completed things are just energy for the soul. And so that is what Finish Friday has been for me. Last week, Terri drew a donut kit. My kit comes with a book of things to make that are all kind of sweet treats, but I especially just wanted to make the donuts for this week's Finish It Friday. But in my video, I also shared some links for some donuts for you, the viewers and friends, to join along and make along with us. And I've had 2 people reach out and share their donuts with me. And so I'm going to put those here and here. And I am so excited to see those donuts, because when y'all get involved, it's what gives us the energy and the motivation to do these kind of videos and make content. Because it's so much more fun when there's community aspect to any of this. And we couldn't do any of this without you guys. Every comment, every thumbs up, every subscribe is what fuels our little fire to continue and to make some videos. I know it does for me. My donut that I made, I was gonna make 2, but it was just one of those weeks. So if you are new here, and I have a lot of new subscribers lately, thank you so much for joining my community of friends. It really makes me happy to see this channel grow. But if you are new, you may not know that I am a homeschool mom to our 2 boys who are teenagers, and I'm also like a caretaker for my mother-in-law, and she was in the hospital last week. And so this week, it has been a lot of getting back in a routine because she does have dementia and Alzheimer's, and really working with all of her nurses, because she's had a nurse come out for the first time. She's never had nurses come out, but there's been a nurse or 1 or 2 nurses every single day since Tuesday. And that's been a lot. It's been a big adjustment for her, for me, and trying to figure out scheduling, but we've made it work. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful to have those nurses come and work with her. So I did not get to make 2 donuts like I originally planned. And so I decided to make a chocolate donut with white frosting and pink sprinkles. So there's my sprinkles. I don't like a lot of sprinkles on my donuts just because when you eat them, they never want to stay on anyways, and they just tend to go everywhere. And so I went light on my sprinkles because that's how I like my donuts. But I do like a lot of frosting. That's like the best sugary part. And to be quite honest, I'm not a chocolate donut person. I don't even like chocolate ice cream or chocolate cake. But I liked the contrast and how pretty it was. And it made me think of traditional donuts that we always get because I have chocolate fiends in my family. So I made a chocolate donut. I don't know what I'm going to do with my donut. Actually, I do have an idea. I'm going to show you in a minute what I was going to do with my donut. So I used the yarn that came with the kit. It didn't have a yarn brand on the kit. It's just some acrylic. And from what I can tell, it's a DK weight. So I used the chocolate, the brown from the kit, and then they had this white icing. The pink speckles is actually the pink yarn that comes with the kit. So the kit had the materials to make one donut and one cupcake, which I talked about in the previous video. So I'm not gonna go over that again, but I will link that video down below in case you have not seen it and you wanna check that out. Or if you want to grab some of those links for the free donuts, so you can make some donuts too. So what my instructions instructed you to do when you make your donuts is you actually start in the center, and when you make the chocolate or the actual donut part, you make this flat piece that grows, and then it has you seam it in the center and then kind of fill the donut as you go with stuffing as you're seaming that. Then once you get done, you make the icing separately and you attach that to the donut, and then you just go in if you want to add sprinkles and put the sprinkles on. To me, that was a lot easier because when you start getting a lot of stuff going on, getting this little center circle of the donut sewn is kind of cumbersome, to say the least, and I think my way made it a little bit easier. So when I sewed my icing on, what I did, there's one of my hairs on that, I'm sorry. So what I did is I left a long tail, and I would start each one of these little stitches that have the 4 single go in there, so it would kind of tack that down to leave the little flare, the flare of the icing, to give it really that 3-dimensional kind of look. And also just to kind of make it kind of cutesy, like it has like an icing little skirt on it. Icing ruffles. I really wanted to make another one, and I still may at some point. I mean, I will eventually, but there's other things I want to make. I saw what Terri had drew for next week, and I got a little excited about that. And I really want to go through and make a video and show you all the kits that I am pulling from. So most of the kits and things that I have are things like this that I've picked up Hobby Lobby over the years. Here's a crochet goat. He's adorable. But I have a lot of things like these that I have gotten through Simply Crochet magazine. So I was a die-hard subscriber and fan of Simply Crochet magazine since it originally started in 2013. In fact, I remember when they were talking about this magazine coming out, and I pre-ordered the subscription to the magazine. So that first issue that was sent out, I would get it here in the United States. Did that subscription for 4 years, I think, solid. That last year, though, the last quarter is when I really started having issues with my subscription. I would not get the magazine at all, or I would get it and the kit would be missing. And I would contact them and they would send me a new kit if they had it, but a lot of times they didn't have any more of the kits, and so they would just like send a little something else. But it's kind of expensive to get shipped here and do the subscription. And when you get magazines that are torn up or missing half of the stuff, it just kind of makes it not as fun, and it just kind of got to where I just canceled my membership. And it really honestly made me sad because I really looked forward to getting this magazine each month. And I even thought about going back and doing the digital magazine, but for me, it's just not the same as having an actual magazine or book in your hand that you could breathe in and feel. Because the UK magazines tend to be really well made. They always have a thicker paper to them, and there's just something about that feel and smelling it and breathing in the pages when you turn it that just is very comfy and cozy to me, and it kind of ignites this creative spark within me and makes me want to create. So for many of the issues that I was missing, for a while I was tracking them down, and still today, if I ever go to a bookstore that sells the magazine and I see one I don't have, I do pick it up. There's no hesitation whatsoever. But unfortunately, where I live, that doesn't happen often because there's no place here that sells magazines besides Publix. Publix very, very rarely gets Simply Crochet magazines anymore. And my Michaels does not sell magazines. But for this week, for the project that Terri chose, one of her kits, and it just so happened to be a peacock. And I'm saying this because her video came out earlier today, so you've probably already seen it. She has a much higher watch volume than I do and subscriber count than I do. So the majority of you probably already seen her talk about her bird. But if not, I'm gonna tag her down below so you can go to her channel and see what her bird is gonna look like and which kit she actually chose for her bird. So I looked through all my kits and I did not have a bird kit. I do, however, have a Edwards Imaginarium bird book, and I looked and there was not a peacock in there. I went to Ravelry and I pulled up my Ravelry account because I keep all of my books and magazines and patterns linked into my library so I can easily search it from a chair and I don't have to go digging through everything. And so I did a search with all of my 7,000 to 8,000 patterns that I have that I've collected over the decade. And lo and behold, good old faithful Simply Crochet issue number 69 has not only a bird to crochet, but it's a peacock. So for this week, I will be crocheting the peacock from Simply Crochet issue number 69. So this book came out, it has been a while because the original run was 2013. So I've had this for a while and I haven't even done the kit that came with this magazine. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm tempted, or I was tempted to do that because the kit that came with this magazine is for this really cool wall art elephant. And I still have all of the bits and bobs, the crochet gems to go with it. It's flair, so to speak. But how pretty is that? So that definitely needs to get made because it needs to go somewhere out here. It's pretty cool. But the peacock, it's adorable. It's called True Blue. Spread your wings and show off your skills with a super cute peacock by Laura Calarari. I'm probably butchering her name and I do apologize. How cute is that? That is what I will be making this week for Finish It Friday. I gotta pull out my yarns, but I know that I have this one yarn that I've been using in my Sophie's Universe, and it's Red Heart with Love. And it's like this really pretty dark blue teal, and the color is called Peacock. I mean, you can't get much better than that. And then I know I have a lighter blue and a yellow, but I just think this is gonna go super fast and be super cute. And that excites me because it's going to be another doozy of a week next week. Now, in true fashion, in the spirit of community, I'm going to do some research and I'm going to find some kind of peacock or bird crochet and hopefully knitting pattern that I can put down below in the video description for you so you can join along as well. You can email me your pictures of your finished bird before Friday. Let's say before Friday at 8 a.m. so that we'll have time to put them in the video or put them on your community post. Make sure you tag me. If you have a channel, make sure you share a video and tag me so I can check them out. And then you can just send me a picture and I will put them in my video at the end for next week. But that's all I have this week. I appreciate you spending your time and hanging out with me and checking out this video. If you have found it fun and entertaining or educational or whatever, if you just like it in general, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I truly, truly appreciate it because that is what YouTube deems as one of the main things before they agree to push out our videos to other viewers. And the more that I can grow this channel, then the more fun things I have planned and I'm able to do. I love to talk in the comments with you all and follow up with what you're making. I do have a Facebook group if you're interested. You can find that link below as well. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful September weekend. Fall is in the air and I am so excited for it. And I cannot wait to hang out with you in this video.